I'm so out of it when it comes to pop culture that I did not even realize that Kristen Stewart is bisexual. But I have it on reliable sources that she is, and she really wants you to know about it. In fact, she wants you to know so much that she's done a risque and supposedly controversial Rolling Stone cover shoot. Here's a tweet from Rolling Stone magazine. Kristen Stewart, Rolling Stone's March cover star, just wants to, quote, do the gayest thing you've ever seen in your life. After more than 2 decades in the spotlight, she knows who she is and what she wants. So that's this kind of narcissistic fixation on your own identity and who am I and look at me and I'm different, I'm special. And to be fair, she is kind of special. She made it as a movie star, but she didn't become famous for this look. And so I don't know if this is going to work. Now, looking at this photo, you have a very attractive woman doing pretty much everything possible to make herself not attractive, which really does speak to something in our time, especially with liberal white women are very eager to have an identity which is other than just straight white girl, and therefore bisexual, therefore tattoos, therefore whatever this is. But I don't judge. We're all working out our psychological issues. She appears androgynous, or at least that's the look that she's going for. But I frankly don't think that this androgynous look really works for her. It's not that I'm against it in principle. It's just not a good look for Kristen Stewart. And it suggests that Stewart wanted to stir up controversy. She wanted more attention. I mean, not surprising from a movie star, right? That's just their default mode, you would think. But it suggests that she deliberately wanted to provoke a big reaction, and she almost wanted to be a victim of online bullying, which again she insists that she's receiving. But I've seen much more coverage of her response to feeling victimized and anticipating this reaction than I've actually seen the reaction itself. I haven't actually seen that. Headline from Yahoo News. Kristen Stewart defends her controversial Rolling Stone cover photo shoot. Okay, defends from whom? Nobody is even attacking her. Kristen Stewart has defended her new Rolling Stone cover magazine after it divided fans' opinions. The 33-year-old actor features on the front of the March edition of the U.S. Music and Culture publication. Unveiled last week, the cover shows Stewart in a jockstrap and basketball shorts as she poses in a weightlifting room. So these are all things we associate with masculinity, of course, and that's supposed to be what's so edgy about it. While many of the Twilight Actors fans enjoyed the image, more conservative commentators shared their distaste for the cover. But they actually don't give you any examples of conservative commentators sharing their distaste. And just for the record, I'm not sharing my distaste. My distaste is for how contrived this whole controversy is. It's baiting conservatives into a reaction that they actually never had, and then reporting as though they had a certain reaction which makes them look reactionary. Okay, reactionary meaning like right-wing and conservative, not. Here's another quote from Kristen Stewart. It's okay to take pictures and mix them up in a way that people aren't used to and want to go, and that's okay too, she added. In fact, it's pervasive and it's everywhere, and it's being denied, and it's crazy that there aren't more pictures like that. I love the opportunity. Again, who's denying the opportunity? The whole culture is like this. It's not like she's being edgy and pushing the boundary, as she likes to think that she is. Like she said, it's being denied. Who is denying? I mean, take a look at pop culture. It couldn't be more like bizarre stuff in your face every day. And it is what it is. So the collective response from heterosexual males is a no thanks, number one, in terms of it's just kind of not a sexy picture. I know she doesn't care about my opinion as a heterosexual male, but just in case she wants to know, it's not sexy. But number two, it's like not taking the bait. I find it distasteful, not necessarily from a moral perspective. I just think aesthetically it just doesn't work. It's a little disturbing, the picture. So maybe if you were going for disturbing, then you succeeded. But I feel like that's not necessarily the look that or the response that she wanted. So for me, I mean, look, I'm not her target audience, so I want to be upfront about that. And however, for me, Kristen Stewart will always be the teeny bopper, um, Pop Tart movie star. She stars in movies like Twilight, which are based on young adult books that I don't get. Like, I don't get the literary merit because there isn't any. And there's a whole genre, and it's like the most successful thing in America in terms of film and literature is the young adult stuff. And this is the fan base. So, you know, she's not really going to alienate any of her existing fans, but people like me are just going to be honest because it's funny. Like, it's an emperor has no clothes. In this case, she almost literally has no clothes. So here's what Stewart said about the inclusion of LGBT stuff in film, and it's a very ultra woke take. Quote, "We can't keep doing that thing where we tell everyone how to feel and where we sort of pat each other on the back and receive browning points for providing space for marginalized voices and only in the capacity that they are allowed to speak about that alone." First of all, kind of incomprehensible. Second of all, the impression I get from that kind of statement is no matter what you do to try to show that you're accepting, I'm still not going to be happy. And that kind of characterizes the state of America in 2024. It's like, I don't really see people going around actively discriminating against anyone. I see people kind of making up situations where they get to say that they're being discriminated against. And that seems to be what Kristen Stewart is doing. My name is Michael McCara. Thank you so much for watching.